What up, G-Life fan? It's your boy MC Shadow. Now, what I wanted to talk about today is actually an interesting subject that get asked. And like my homie says, man, dog, you just really want people not to follow you, huh, and subscribe to you. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, check out the playlist and all that good stuff. Now, why did he say that? Because I was asked, is it possible to be a gangster without being from a gang? So that's why homie was like, you just don't want people to subscribe to you, huh? Hey, homie, I can't lie, dog. I could only call it how it is, dog. At the end of the day, I can't be lying, homie. You know what I mean? I could only give my honest opinions here. Now, can you be a gangster without being from a gang? Well, kind of. Not really, but kind of. Now, what do I mean by that? Example, in order to be a gangster is a title that they gave us individuals, right? Law enforcement, right? Because they're gangsters because they belong to a gang, you know? So they're gang members or gangsters, you know what I mean? Because they belong to a gang. You know, you get what I'm saying? So they're gangsters because they belong to a gang. A gang is 3 or more individuals that commit criminal activity. That is what's considered a gang. So a gang is 3 or more individuals that are committing criminal activity. So they belong to a gang, therefore they are gang members or gangsters. You know, is the term that they gave, you know, law enforcement gave, that society recognized and that they use, you know. That's why, you know, you see in those movies, come on gang, let's go gang, or this is my gang. You know what I'm saying? That's what that means. So if you don't belong to a gang, then how is it possible to be a gangster or gang member? You get what I'm saying? And a gangster and a gang member create, you know, criminal activity with their gang. Now, because there is people that are gangsters that are not gang, you know, that are not from a gang. You know what I mean? There's different, like, for example, in the Sud, I know normally I don't get into these topics, but just for the simple fact of explaining this video, like for the Sud, when you get locked up and you're not from a gang, you know, you could run a resident, you know, Southside resident, which is, you're not from a gang, but you stand with us while in the time of incarceration. And then when you come out, you go and do your own thing, your own life, you know what I mean? And I know some people get a hard time for being a resident, which I never understood that, because my boy, if he's a resident, he's a Southsider, he's a Sureño, regardless if he's from a gang or not, because in there he was fighting alongside of us. He was worthy in there. He was worthy. You know what I mean? He was looked upon as just another homeboy. So why not when he's out here, he's getting criticism and being clowned on for being a resident, just a resident? Like, you guys weren't clowning when you guys needed him in there, or he wasn't, you know, he wasn't non-worthy when he was in there, right? You know what I mean? You were looking for him for backup and seeing him just as another soldier and stuff like that. But why out here, you know, they're gonna get clowned and stuff like that? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why is he worthy in there and not worthy out here? You know, that's people just wanting to talk shit just for the simple fact of talking shit, and the people that just agree with it are just as, you know, petty-minded, like those individuals. Because that never made any sense. Like, how you gonna be clowning him, homie? In there he was seen worthy, and in there you would look for him as another soldado. So why you trying to bash him while he's out here? You get what I'm saying? Now, but the reason why you have to be a gangster or gang member, you know what I mean, or why is it that you have to be and not have to be, is because it's kind of like saying you get to pick and choose when you want to be a gangster. You know what I mean? Like when fools tell you, like, oh, come on, let's go do the holler. Like, why? I'm not from that gang. Like, why do I have to go with you fools? I ain't from you guys' neighborhood. You know what I mean? But then when women are around or anything like that, it's like, yeah, I'm a gangster, homie. You know, all of a sudden they get to pick and choose when they want to be, you know, gangster or non-gangster. You get what I'm saying? You get, you know. And now, if he's a homie that's like, he's down for whatever, like, let's roll, fucking let's go and everything like that, and he's always down for the action and everything, then it makes you wonder, then why doesn't he just get jumped in or become a part of the gang? You get what I'm saying? It still doesn't make any sense. If he's always rolling with you guys, always going there, then why doesn't he just get in? It makes no sense. You get what I'm saying? Why? Because he doesn't really want to be a gangster? then why is he saying he's a gangster if he doesn't really want to be a gangster? If he doesn't want to make a full-blown commitment, then why say you're gangster if you don't want to make a full-blown commitment? You don't get to have one foot in, one foot out. You know what I mean? Either you with it or you not. So which one is it, my boy? You get what I'm saying? You get where it could get kind of like treacherous, or why, you know, people will have like a hard time, you know, buying into it or not sweating homies for it. You get what I mean? Like, okay, so whenever you want, or you know what I mean? Like the hood, they don't see the hood like in that type, you know what I mean? In that type of way where it's like, oh, only when you want, or what's happening, you know? Because there's homeboys that kick it with neighborhoods that are not from neighborhoods, you know what I mean? I have a few, you know, that kick it in my zone that have always kicked it, posted up with us, and, you know, we see like if he's a camarada just like us, but he's not from the hood, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we don't consider him a gangster, we consider him the homie, you know what I mean? But he's not a gangster. You get what I mean? Because in order to be a gangster, you got to be a part of the gang. You know, but he's a down homie, you know? Doesn't mean because he's not from a gang or he's not a part of us or whatever, doesn't mean he's a bitch or a pussy. And there's times where even those individuals will get jumped or something will happen to them and we'll go back them up. But just doing the paro doesn't, let's just say not everyone in the hood is mandatory to go do the, you know, go back him up, you know what I mean? It's only those who want to go back him up, you know what I mean? Those who, you know, it's on them, it's their own personal decision, you know what I mean? It's not Mando, you know, compared to when it's a homie from the barrio, it's Mando, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's like that, like, you know, like there's homies that are, you know, that they get jumped or whatever and homies go back them up and they're not even from the hood or whatever, but it wasn't obligated. But when it's a homie from your hood, it's obligated. You know what I mean? Because if you don't go back up your homeboy, I mean, my boy, your name's gonna be thrown in the hat where it's like, hey, what's up, homie? Why don't you go back up the camarada? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something you have to do. I mean, when you made the pledge and the commitment, I mean, you knew that was, you know, what was a part of the deal. So now it's like, well, why didn't you? And no excuse is gonna be good enough. You get what I'm saying? Especially like if it was right there, if you were right there present while this was occurring, like how come you didn't jump in and stuff like that? Like, no excuse for it. Doesn't matter, the cops were coming. No. You handle your business, my boy. It's just a street fight, don't worry. You're not gonna go to jail for years for a street fight. You know, shit, you'll probably be out the next morning. But anywho, you know, because it's a part of it comes with the life. I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into. You know, when you claim a gangster, what could happen to you? You know what I mean? You know, like, a lot of bad things could happen to you because nothing good comes out of this life. No good things come out of this life. Not one single thing, my boy. Nothing but this madre drama and bullshit. Real talk. Some of us just like that chaos. I mean, but you really get nothing out of it. Nothing but headache, stress, and all that. And that's real talk. Like I said, no PC, no dropout, no none of that. You know what I mean? I'm only calling it how it is. So, you know, you really get nothing out of it. You know what I mean? So you know, like, what could happen to you and everything like that. So if you're claiming to be one, but you're not one, it's even more odder. Like why? Like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't understand. Like, so you like the way our stilo is, like the dressing style and the fact that people think that homies are down for the shit and crazy and everything like that. So you like that, but you don't actually like the fact that you could go to jail and you could get shot and all of that. So you want all the good stuff that comes with being a gang member, but none of the bad stuff. So that's why you claim to be one, but are not one. You're not from a gang. So that way you can get all the benefits that comes with the lifestyle, but with none of the negatives. You could see where homies could question the motives, the angles, and why. And I know a lot of people won't like this video. I know it's gonna get a lot of this video. I know for sure is gonna get a lot of dislikes. You know what I mean? I know I normally say that, and it turns out to be that. I know this one's gonna get a lot of dislikes. I know a lot of fools are gonna feel some type of way about this. But look, I'm not here to insult these individuals. I'm not here to bash them or anything that like that, how they carry themselves. You get what I mean? I'm only calling it how it is and how homeboys see it. You know what I mean? Look, I can only be honest here. I'm only telling it how it is, my boys. You know what I mean? You know, because even like if you're like a tag banger, you know, or from a tag bang, he still belongs to something. So even he gets to say he's a gangster. You know what I mean? Because at least he's a part of an organization, a group that's doing stuff. You get what I'm saying? That because they're obligated to, as well. Don't they just because they're crews or tagging crews or tag banging crews that they're not obligated to do stuff. If they don't back up their fellow tagger or tag banger or whatever, they're gonna get regulated, putazos, and you get what I mean. So even they get to say that they gangster because they doing gangster shit. You know what I mean? And they belong to a group. So even they're gangsters. You get what I mean? Because there's homeboys that are tag bangers or tag whatever, and then they're the residents. They roll with the suit and everything, and they legitly some gangsters, my boy. You know what I mean? But they belong to a group. You get what I'm saying? So you can see why, even they get their shit tattooed on them and stuff like that. So you could understand why, it is questioned, because when you're solo bolo, you're not obligated to do a damn thing. So are you really gangster? Or are you only gangster when you want to be? You get what I'm saying? You get it? Why homies see it that way? It's not that they're trying to be assholes. It's that those are legit questions that need to be asked and wondered. You know what I mean? And the reason why they get mad and stuff like that is because there's homeboys that have died for this and are doing life for this, and for you just to come and use it at your convenience whenever you want or whenever you don't want, it's offensive to all those who really have fallen for this life. You get what I'm saying? But that's not to be an asshole or to bash anybody. I'm only simply telling you how it is and how homies see it. You know what I mean? I'm not here to try to be, like, this was a hater or whatever. Nah, my boy, I'm only telling you how homies really see it, homie. Like, how it really is, dog. You know what I mean? Like I said, I never come on here just to be, like, talking shit about anybody or anything like that. I simply just come to tell you how it is, homie. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't think I'm no super gangster or nothing like that. Like, I'm only calling it for how it is, homie. You can hate it or love it. I mean, it's on you, but I'm simply just telling you how it is. That's why homie was like, man, you make it really hard, huh? Like, hey, my boy, I can't be lying to people, my boy. You know what I mean? F Shadow, yeah.